According to Pro Football Focus, Burrow is projected to have a better season than Baker Mayfield. These are the projections. You see them right there. And for those of you who don't know Pro Football Focus, I assume most people do, but for those who don't, this is not sort of a hot takey kind of a place. These are analytics-driven projections, and I found this very surprising. Dan Graziano and Marcus is back with us. So, Marcus, I'll start with you. What do you make of that idea that Joe Burrow will have a better season statistically than Baker Mayfield?
I don't buy that idea, G. And look, everybody understand the question. A better year. Who will ultimately be the better quarterback? That's a different discussion. The better years will be Baker Mayfield. Listen, you go by experience and you go by Njoku, Austin Hooper, Jarvis Landry, obviously Odell Beckham Jr., Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and Stefanski coming in. Hopefully, he has a coach that's going to put him in a position to be successful, unlike he had last year, the ability to run the ball. But he's just surrounded by more talent. He'll have more opportunities when you look across the ball on Cleveland's defense as well. So a lot of things make up what will add to Baker Mayfield's possible success this year. He's going to have to prove individually that he can be the quarterback of the future, but I think he has a better season than Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow, obviously, it's a shortened off season. We're dealing with a pandemic. There's no familiarity with the guys in person outside of the possibility of some undisclosed workouts in different areas. So he has a lot of uphill climb to be a rookie starting and trying to win games in this league against a division with already some really good football teams. So I expect Baker Mayfield to have a better year this year.
Dan Graziano, I would argue with an improved offensive line and a coach who can't possibly be worse than what they had last year, Baker Mayfield has the best weapons of any quarterback in the NFL at his disposal. I would put the Browns, Swagoo just went through all the names. I would put them at the best. So if Baker Mayfield doesn't have a big year, to me, this could be big trouble for him and his future in Cleveland. How do you see it, Dan?
Yeah, I agree that he's set up for success. I think, you look at all those targets that we talk about in the passing game, their depth, the quality of depth in their run game, right? We talk about Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I mean, that's a pretty, powerful 1-2 at the top of your running back depth chart. But I think, the Bengals are a little underrated in terms of the supporting cast around Burrow. I mean, Tyler Boyd, A.J. Green, they draft the rookie. Joe Mixon is one of the better running backs in the NFL in terms of productivity and durability over the last 3 years. So he's got some people around him. I'd still lean more toward Baker, but I want to make this point because Jeff Saturday is on the show today. I think it could come down to which team did better fixing its offensive line in the offseason. And the Bengals are getting back Jonah Williams, who was their first-round pick last year, and they projected him to be their starting left tackle last year, and he got hurt in the offseason and didn't play. They see him as a major addition this year, and if he is, that changes a lot of things for them. Meanwhile, the Browns draft an offensive tackle in the first round this year. They signed Jack Conklin in free agency to play right tackle. I think they have a lot going for them in that area as well. So two very strong supporting casts, but I would lean toward Baker because we've seen him do it before in the NFL. We have yet to see that from Joe Burrow.
Let me get a quick take from Neek here, and then I'm going to get Jeff Saturday in. But Neek, let me get a quick thought from you. You like all this sort of deeper analysis. What do you think?
Right. I don't think it serves us that well for me to continue to say what everyone else has been saying, so I'll try to view it from the other perspective, because I think ultimately I agree with you guys, but what they're saying, we all agree that the surrounding cast of the Browns is better. And we also all agree that the defense of the Browns is better, which matters to your quarterback's production. But I think what they are saying is based on what we've seen from Baker in his NFL career, he's not a very good quarterback, and I think the numbers would support that assumption. And they're assuming that off of what could have been an anomaly for Joe Burrow in college football, where he had the best season that we've seen a passing quarterback have in the NFL. They're projecting that he's going to be at least above average. And Baker's numbers suggest that he's been close to average, but mostly below average. I still would go with Baker having a better season because I think that his accuracy, the issues he had with accuracy last year, were an anomaly, and he'll return to being able to throw the ball on target, and he makes good decisions. I think he's in better position to have a good season, but I do think in the long run, Joe Burrow might turn out to be a better NFL quarterback.
Marcus, I said it last week, and I'm going to say it again, and I'll leave it at this. I've got Jeff in here. So, Jeff, I'll say it to you. The Browns are going to make the playoffs this year. The Browns, if you look at the names on the backs of the jerseys, there aren't that many teams that have better talent than the Cleveland Browns do. If they don't put it together, shame on them. Jeff, I think the Browns are going to the playoffs this year.
I don't think they're going to make it this year, Greeny. I think, again, talent does, it's your stacked locker room. There's no doubt. But can you put enough together, enough continuity on the field for everybody to get? You just talked about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens over in there with the Steelers and what they're going to do. It's a tough division either way. But as they're coming out, at some point, this thing has to gel together. 4 head coaches, 3 years, that just kind of everything that's going on with the Browns. It's going to take them a little more time. I don't think this year is the year.